Welcome back to the NHL playoffs. My name is Knuckhead, and I'll be covering one series per round, starting with the Battle of Ontario between the Ottawa Senators and the Toronto Maple Leafs. We've got 4 games to talk about, starting with the City of Ottawa's first playoff game in 8 years, Game 3. And with the Maple Leafs already up 2-0, this was a must-win for the Senators. These two teams do not like each other, and that was made very obvious right off the bat. Brady Tkachuk tackled William Nylander, Clevin demolished Lorentz, Tkachuk got called for roughing Pontus Holmberg.
That's fucking awful!
But it didn't matter because Matthew Nyes got called for cross-checking Ridley Gregg right after. And thanks to some solid goaltending on both sides of the ice from Ottawa's Linus Ullmark and Toronto's Anthony Stolarz, the game was scoreless after the first period. However, at the top of the second, while already down a man, Leafs forward William Nylander got called for tripping, giving the Senators a 5-on-3 power play, and they scored. Obviously, it was the 37-year-old NHL legend Claude Giroux who got it. 1-0 Sens. Buzzing from that goal, Ottawa started piling up scoring chances, but Stolarz stood tall in net and stopped everything they threw his way to keep his team within 1. And then Drake Batherson took his 3rd penalty of the series. This time it was for high-sticking Jake McCabe, and of course, the Leafs scored on the ensuing power play. 1-1, tie game, brutal. Toronto came close to taking the lead in the final minute, but Tavares missed the partially wide-open net and the game stayed tied at 1s heading into the 3rd. Now, I just want to take a second to mention how good Mitch Marner is at hockey. This dude is elite in all facets of the game, but it was his vision and passing that stood out like crazy in this one. He feathers passes through tight and dangerous crevices with a confidence that borders on cocky, and I mean that in a good way. When the puck's on his stick, he's calm, cool, and collected, and takes his time before deciding on a play that he often executes perfectly. But those two examples were both in the defensive zone. When he's in the offensive zone, he's just as lethal, if not more. Just look at this pass he made to Austin Matthews. Are you kidding me? I know this might be dramatic, but if the Canucks can't find a way to sign this guy in free agency, I'm gonna get a BBL in protest. Anyway, that beautiful pass by Marner ended in a goal for Austin Matthews, 2-1 Toronto. Max Pacioretty crushed Jake Sanderson, Brady Tkachuk took a shot that Canucks legend Chris Tanev deflected out of play, and Brady was pissed. Shit. But then, on his next shift, Brady took another shot from the exact same area, and this time, Tanev wasn't there to get his stick on it, and the puck went right through both Carlo and Stolarz to tie the game at 2. The Senators actually had a chance to take the lead just a minute later, but Stolarz made a sick save to keep it tied and send it to overtime. Simone Benoit scored. Leafs win 3-2 and take a 3-0 series lead. Now, before we talk about what happened in the next game, I just want to say that I am aware of all the drama surrounding the Canucks right now, and yes, I will be talking about it soon. It's a stressful time for us Whale Team fans right now, but you know what I do when I'm stressed? I call up my good friends over at Need Massage Studio and book myself a nice, relaxing massage. That's right, the sponsor of today's video is Need. Open daily from 9 a.m. to 10 p.m., Need's team of massage therapists offer head-to-toe massage services in a serene and soothing space designed for relaxation. There's a reason this place was voted Vancouver's best massage therapy clinic by the Georgia Straight in 2024. And guess what? They've got a special offer just for us Knuckheads. If you click the top link in the description of this video and use the code NUCK10 when booking your appointment, Need will give you 10% off your foot or body massage excluding RMT services. Located at 637 East 15th Avenue, Need is the place to heal, recover, and disconnect. So do yourself a favor and click the top link in the description of this video and use code NUCK10 for 10% off your foot or body massage. Now, for those of you who may not know, in the NHL, coming back from a 3-0 series deficit is extremely rare. Since 1939, there have been 201 documented instances of a team falling behind 3-0, and of those 201, only 10 managed to tie the series, and just 4 went on to win Game 7. That's a success rate of less than 2%. Now, obviously, none of that has any effect on what happens in this series, but it does give you a sense of just how tough the road ahead is going to be for the Senators if they want to see the second round. But in Game 4, with their season on the line, they came out strong. Shane Pinto hit Simone Benoit, ex-Canuck Adam Gaudette hit Jake McCabe, Max Domi got called for roughing, and on the ensuing power play, Tim Stützle scored his first career postseason goal, 1-0 Ottawa. The Senators kept pouring it on and were about to score another one, but McCabe threw himself in the crease to stop the puck from crossing the line. But here's where it gets funny. Well, if you're a Sens fan. David Perron got called for roughing, giving the dangerous Toronto superstars a chance to tie the game on the power play, but instead, this happened.
He's in! And he scores!
This is how you avoid elimination. 2-0 Ottawa. However, you're going to need more than 2 first-period goals to fend off a team as offensively gifted as the Maple Leafs. Tavares made it a 1-goal game before the first 20 minutes were up, and then in the second period, 22-year-old Matthew Nyes scored one of the nicest goals I've ever seen. To me, this is the ideal playoff hockey goal, a pure display of speed, strength, and skill. Nyes is also up for a new contract at the end of this season, and he's the type of player every coach would love to have on their team. So I'm sure it's bittersweet for Leafs fans watching him score goals like this, knowing it's definitely going to drive his price up. How much do you think he's going to get on his next contract? Let me know in the comments. Anyway, it's 2-2 now, heading into the final frame. Stützle was racing around the ice like a madman, Benoit crushed Dylan Cousins, Tkachuk destroyed Pontus Holmberg, and then David Perron scored to put the Sens up by 1 with just over 12 minutes remaining. Nice. Ullmark went brick wall mode for the next few minutes, doing everything he could to keep his team up by 1, but the Leafs just wouldn't let up, and with barely 5 minutes left in the game, Willie Nylander spotted Ekman Larsson sneaking down from the point and sent a perfect pass across the ice right to his stick, and OEL made no mistake bashing it past Linus for his second of the series. 3-3 tie game, time for overtime. Drake Batherson got called for high sticking 5 minutes in. Tanev's bleeding. It's a double minor. 4-minute man advantage for Toronto in overtime. Well, it was fun while it lasted, Sens fans. The game is clearly over. You can't give a team as talented as the Maple Leafs 4 minutes of power play time to work with and expect to come out of it unscathed. Especially when the puck lands on the stick of Austin Matthews, one of the best goal scorers in the world. It's game over at that point. He's right in front of the net and your goalie's down and out. It's done. It's not like he's gonna hit the post and then, thanks to some killer killing by your penalty killers, the power play will end unsuccessful, giving Jake Sanderson the opportunity to lob a shot from the point that finds its way past Stolarz and into the back of the net to win the game and keep your season alive. That's unlikely, but it happened. Sens won 4-3 in overtime to keep their season alive. And Game 5 was all Ottawa. Batherson wasn't taking penalties, he was actually getting scoring chances. Sanderson was making solid defensive plays. Fabian Zetterlund had a chance to score his first career playoff goal. Thomas Chabot did score his first career playoff goal, 1-0 Ottawa. But then Ridley Gregg took a super stupid penalty, giving the Leafs the perfect chance to tie the game on the power play. But instead, this happened.
Driving the lead is Cousins! Scores! Short-handed!
2-0 Ottawa. Riley dumped Chabot, Nyes decked Pinto, McMahon leveled Clevin. The Maple Leafs were clearly frustrated and they were taking it out on the ice. You could even say things were getting pretty chippy. You get it? Now, I should mention that Ottawa goaltender Linus Ullmark played his ass off in this one. It's not like Toronto wasn't generating any chances. They were. All he was just stopping everything. It must be pretty nice to finally have a good goalie, eh, Sens fans? Anyway, the Leafs pulled Stolarz for the extra attacker, and Ottawa scored twice on the empty net and won 4-0, and we're now just one win away from becoming the 11th team in NHL history to force a Game 7 after going down 3-0 in a series. And Game 6 was back in Ottawa, so they'd have the support of a full arena cheering them on. Or at least you'd think so. Instead, the fans in Ottawa chose to taunt the Leafs' best player. And he responded by scoring on a shot that could only be described as cheeky. What a cheeky little shot that was. 1-0 Toronto. Riley hit Cousins, Tanev got smushed, Tkachuk chonked Jake, McCabe thumped Stützle, the crowd taunted the Leafs again. And they responded by scoring another one. This time it was Willie Nylander, 2-0 Toronto. The Sens weren't going down easy though. They were hucking pucks at Stolarz left, right, and center, but the Leafs netminder kept tough in the crease and stopped all that was chucked his way. But then, McCabe speared Tkachuk right where the goo gets made and did it so sneakily that not one referee saw it happen. And understandably, Tkachuk was pissed, but he continued on using the intensity of ball pain to his advantage, parked himself in front of the net, and deflected a Chabot point shot past Stolarz to put his team on the board. 2-1 Toronto. Then it was Ullmark's turn to leave his mark on this game. He stopped a ton of great scoring chances. Goaltending was not an issue for Ottawa in this series, not at all. Although he did almost shit the bed on this play, but no harm was done, so whatever. Anyway, thanks to Ullmark keeping the Sens within 1, they were able to tie it up in the final minutes, and of course it was the player with the most playoff experience out of anyone on either team who scored it. David Perron. 2-2 tie game. Wow. Max Pacioretty scored less than 2 minutes later. Ottawa pulled their goalie for the extra attacker, but Nylander scored on the empty net, and the Leafs won 4-2, sending the Senators right back to the golf course. So yeah, that's it for this series. I'm going to let you guys vote which series I cover next in round 2. You have 4 choices: Washington against Carolina, Toronto against Florida, Vegas against Edmonton, or Winnipeg against Dallas. Leave a comment under this video telling me which series you want me to follow next. 1 comment equals 1 vote, but no spamming. Whichever one gets the most votes is the one I'm going to go with. Thank you to these wonderful knuckheads for becoming channel members. It helps support what I do, and I appreciate it a ton. Thank you for watching. I'll see you later. Bye. If that video made you laugh or cry or breathe, you're probably gonna like one of my other ones, so click one of these 2 videos right here. Just click it. Do it.